Frederick.
Hey, Michael. How are you?
Awesome. Hey, guys. Welcome to our Sunday night call. I'm super excited to do this call with you guys. I actually had the opportunity last week to go back and watch last week's call and read some of the comments of people that actually went back and watched it, because usually it's amazing how many people actually go back and watch a call on the replay, right? And somebody was saying to me, well, do you think it's the same? And I was like, yeah, because they're watching the same thing. Now, do I think it's better when you're live and you get to interact and stuff like that? Yes. But I just looked at the comments for people who actually did this work, the John Maxwell stuff. And guys, if hold on one second, I'll show you guys. Like, the book is a total of like 85 pages. It's like this big. And I looked at some of the comments, and some people that did watch the video, and we had a little bit of communication problems about which ones we put up, but guess what? It's still all the same information, right? And the right people did the right things. We're going to rotate. I think we did 1 and 3, right?
We did the Power of Network Marketing Part 1, and then I jumped by mistake over to Growth Matters Part 2.
So you skipped Growth Matters Part 1.
And I skipped the Power of Network Marketing Part 2.
Okay.
The video.
Okay. So
if Chris goes super long, we will just pick up where we need to next week. Otherwise, we'll just double back.
Julia's got
her thing ready. Yep.
Okay. So, and I'll just let Lisa think about how we want to do that, because I would like to stay in order if we can, and if not, then we just have to go back.
We can just let Chris go, and
So
we'll pause Julia.
Yeah. So what we'll do is do you want to just do that? What do you guys think? Yeah, it's okay, guys. It happens. I'm not going to put any more stress on this one, just because it was a lot of work here's what we had to do, because not all of you purchased the book and the $169 or whatever it was DVDs. We had to play the video on Zoom, record it, and then upload it every single time. We're going to have to do this for all of the videos. So it's going to take some work. So I pray that more than 17 of you do this work, okay? Because it's a lot of work and it's an investment. And let me tell you something. The comments that came back, Therese just said it right there. It was unbelievable, right? And Lori Musgrave texted me and said, Michael, this recording is better than any teaching. Carla just said the same thing. We're spending the time doing it. Does anybody else want to make a comment like that actually was able to do the study? Because does anybody else want to make a comment before we get started? All right, cool. Awesome. So I wanted to just remind you guys of a couple quick, just mute everybody, please.
Michael.
Yes?
I just got unmuted.
Go ahead.
I'll just say, I just had a chance to watch the videos, listen while I'm getting ready for church and stuff this morning. Those were awesome. And I'm thinking, how did they do that? I mean, this is really a wonderful service. So thank you. Yeah.
No, Stephen, and this, guys, this is a real, like, when I got the book, I was like, wow, this is, but you have to remember, John has been working with leaders in network marketing for 25 years. And I could not believe the value. I couldn't believe the value that was given in just a couple videos that I watched. Like, I did all of the prelude videos to what the book was going to be like so I could understand, and I couldn't wait to get it. Like, so this week, I can promise you, I'll probably read this thing 2 or 3 times. Because for those of you that know, I'm on day 50 something of reading, 55 actually today, and 56 will be tomorrow. For 90, I'm going 120 days. That changed my mind from 90 to 120. And I'm going to read this as often as I can. you know, like look at Tracy and Laura Lee are both in Canada, and it's hard to get the books and stuff yet. So that's why I'm doing these videos, okay? And actually, I have one other one that I can sell if anybody wants to. I told Laura Lee she had first dibs at it if she wanted. I bought one and got one for free. So I had to split the price. So, what's that? No, it's a recording.
Oh,
I'll buy one from you,
Oh,
Michael.
recording.
Here's Michael Epstein,
Michael.
my brother.
What's up, brother?
2 months and counting for the new baby.
Yes, sir.
But besides that, not much. So anyway, I'd love one.
Okay. And so let's so here let me just tell you guys real quick about what went into doing this. And so it was really funny. My friend Jenny Crane talked to me. She's like, Michael, you need to be involved in this. You got to see this and go through the stuff. And guys, just even if you just get the book and read the book, I'm okay with uploading all the videos. Like Lisa and I are going to do it back and forth. All I can tell you is I will do the videos on Monday, tomorrow, so that you have them quicker. But guys, watch them and do the PDFs. They are dynamite. Like, I forget what Lori said. I know her husband surprised her and took her out to dinner, but I was going to have her talk, and I probably will interview her on our Facebook page this week about how powerful this was for her. She, for those of you who don't know a little bit about her story, she was in LifeVantage, advanced really fast. Life happened. Now she's back and super, super excited. And her sister Janice is on here. So guys, it's all about timing. You have people that are going to come back to LifeVantage. There's not a better opportunity out there in this industry that you're ever going to have an opportunity to have products like we have. Whether it's for your animal, whether it's for you, it's not. I've been in this nutrition industry for next year will be my 28th year. I've been around. So I can confess that I've never had products like this in my hands. And I'm not saying that, look, the iPhone gets a new iPhone every year, but it's still an iPhone, okay? I know there's some people that don't use an iPhone. Like I've used this.
Get a new phone every year with their brand.
Exactly. And Lisa and I use this example all the time. Like, you know, we started hearing this stuff about, and I'm going to give you a prelude. I can't tell you too much, but you guys know we have a new product coming out in October. I've talked to 14 people now that have been taking it for a regular period of time. Not only does it make you feel it immediately, okay? I'll let you read that from Tracy. Not only do you feel it immediately, but it enhances our other products. Anytime you have, and I had a feeling that it would from what Dr. Dixon told me about it. And I was like, you know, and look, I'm not going to cry. I used to get all the products before. Anytime we ever had a product launch, I got the products before. This time I didn't. I'm not crying because I know the people that did, and they filled me in on everything. And guys, this is a category 7 product, just like Protandem was, just like our Vitality Stack was. It will be up for a Stevie Award next year. You can guarantee it in its first year. But I believe we're gonna add it into the Vitality Stack. So I'm just telling you, Lisa is answering Tracy's questions. Let's get started. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna just remind you guys of just a couple quick things, and I'm gonna turn it over to Chris. Guys, the videos are still on there. Look, if you haven't done the work, please go back and do it. Please go back and do it. Okay, it's worth it, guys. It's worth it to go back and do this. When we did the 15 laws of growth, we did it 3 times. Okay, 3 times. We went all the way through it. We recorded every session. That's why we're doing it, because I believe this will impact your life and your business. Okay, so I'm gonna have Chris. Chris, can you turn your camera on? Do I need to? Oh, there he is.
I'm ready.
Nice jersey.
Do you like that? They're a
Yeah.
soccer team.
I got one.
Our company sponsors. I didn't know if you know that.
Do they? And you have to
Yes.
fill me in on that later.
Yeah, they're in Utah.
So guys, most of you know Chris. Chris and I have been good friends since he probably joined this business, because I've known him since he got involved. And the thing I like about Chris is anytime somebody wants to step into leadership roles, Chris has stepped into that over and over and over and over. And I believe that what this says in here entails who Chris is. And I think once he goes through this, even as smart and as successful and as strong as he is in business and in life and being a husband and a dad, I think this is going to let him know that all his work is going to pay off, that what he's doing is creating leverage to get to momentum and then take off. Like Chris and I laugh all the time about, different states and different countries. And, we know now, and I know now, even after reading the first couple chapters of this, that certain states get things a little bit farther behind than other states and countries and vice versa. You guys know that Taiwan in 6 months went to third in the country, in the company in volume and revenue, and now they're starting to push towards being in second. So, guys, I met people from Taiwan and from China just the last couple of weeks who are interested in learning about the opportunity. So we're always planting seeds. And Chris is, out of everybody that I know, Chris plants more seeds than anybody I've ever had in my organization. So, and those seeds are being watered. So Chris did the first section on the power of network marketing. So I'm going to stop my video, and I'm going to put Chris in charge, and he's just going to take it away and share. So Chris, all yours, brother.
All right. Thanks, Mike and Lisa. Yeah, I was kind of excited to do this because I needed something to get me back focused. And this was definitely a good idea to get focused and get, working back into this network marketing. I'll be honest, my job has really been very hectic, busy, stressful, and there's been a lot going on. And we're definitely growing very well in that end. And it's been a very tough, trying year for me because I had to run a massive zone by myself, but now I have some support. And when that support gets caught up and he catches on to what we're doing, I'm going to be able to be diving back into this a lot more and be more focused. But I do not take away from my team. I may be slacking a little bit on my end, but when my team needs me, I'm always there for my team. That's one thing I will not let that happen is fall off from that. But I'm really excited about this because this is an amazing validation tool. It's John Maxwell giving his validation on this profession. And I just love how part one ended. And I'll get to that. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll get to that at the end with some of my notes. But just to start it off, he says that everybody has different dreams, desires, gifts, and passions. And that network marketing is not for everybody. But what he did mention is that he knows people in network marketing, and he's liking what he's seeing from those people in network marketing. I mean, we know firsthand, just watching the elites 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, what kind of lifestyle they get to live. They get to wake up and make a choice to do whatever they want to do that day. They don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get ready for work and wake up kids and take to school and go to work and grind and then come home and dinner and whether it's homework, bath, they have this lifestyle that they can live and do what they want, make their own rules, make their own time. And as Tony Robbins would say, it's kind of the extraordinary life. You get to live life on your terms. That was really eye-opening to me, was just him looking into this profession. As you all know, and some of you that might be new, John Maxwell did teachings for LifeVantage for a year. And it was amazing to be able to watch him live and learn from him and take from him. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of what he's taught me at these elite academies is what's making me very successful in my career today. I'm in a leadership role. I have to lead a lot of guys, and I have to be in front of a lot of people, a lot of meetings. And one thing that I've learned specifically from him is to ask questions and not talk. And that's some of the things that he talked about in these videos in this series. And that's how you'll learn, and that's how you grow. And that's one thing that I've actually been complimented by my regional vice president whenever we go into meetings. He's like, you're just so good at sitting there and listening and asking questions and then being able to put everything together in the end. And it's something that he even said that he needs to get better at as well. So that was a huge takeaway. But he says that, when you're thinking about choosing a career, there are 3 questions you should ask yourself. And yep, well, I actually just printed it off, Mike, and I'm just going to kind of go down through it. I'm sorry. I guess I should.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted me to pull it up live so that you could go over it.
Yeah, you want to do that? I mean, you can do that, and I can go back down through the 3 questions. That'd be perfect if you want to.
Okay. I'll pull it up while you're talking. You can go ahead and talk.
Yeah, so the 3 questions that he asked, and Mike's going to pull up the PDF so you know. The first question is, do you enjoy it? You know, do you love what you're going in and doing? The second question, are you good at it? And the third question is, will it make you a better person? And he kind of touched on all 3 of these. And, you know, he wanted to talk about how, you know, you need to spend your life loving what you do. So that's the answer to question 1. If you're not loving what you're doing and you're not passionate about it, then it's not for you. It's time to move on. And it's not a bad thing to back out of it. It's just, you know, identifying what your passion is, what you love. And the other thing is that he's really tired of motivating people. And I understand that. And that's a huge thing with me, because I am exhausted of trying to motivate people. You know, I have about 21 guys I have to work with. They're all really good about working on their own. I have a great team in LifeVantage. But what I did as a person, I didn't know this industry at all. This is my first time. And I had to really understand what this industry is about. I had to understand that I knew that the warm market was going to run out. I had to figure out which way I needed to go, what direction, how I could do something. So I constantly looked for answers, constantly looked for avenues. And then I learned those on my own. I spent hours and even a decent amount of money on buying webinars and buying systems and learning how to do Facebook ads and learning how to do business pages and just finding different avenues where how I can talk to people and conversations that I can have in lines or sitting somewhere and watching an event. All this was my own self-development, because I really enjoyed the first part of this profession of network marketing, and I wanted to get much better at it. Because what he asked in the second question, are you good at it? It was kind of funny, because he's like, I love what I do, and it's great, and I make no money, and but I still love it. And you know, we know that there's those people out there that, you know, they just say they're rich because they get to do what they love every day, but they don't make very much money at it. And, you know, to each their own. That's that's fine. But when you're in this industry and, you know, we're helping people and there's a goal in sight, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I enroll my distributors, I pull out the income earning statement and I ask them where they want to be. What is your level? So I know how I can lead them and where we want to grow. And, you know, you have to be, you know, he says that, you know, they'll love it and not good at it, but then, you know, will it make you a better person? And that is where sometimes what you do makes you a worse person, because you get stressed. And I know for myself, I can really learn from this. I get a little bit more short-sighted. I get a little bit more angry. There's just things that I deal with all day. I feel like, and my wife will laugh because she's probably hearing me right now, but I say that people are just garbage trucks and they're looking for somewhere to dump their garbage. I heard this one day in a video and I thought it was great. And I feel like I'm that person that gets the garbage dumped on them a lot in my profession. I'm the person that they have to deal with if there's a problem, and they could be having a bad day or a bad month, and sales managers have a lot of pressure and they just hammer me. I literally walked in one day with a tech and the guy just went off on me. And after we walked out, he's like, wow, that guy didn't hold back. And I said, that's every day I walk in this place. This guy hates life, and things build up and he's not successful and he takes it out on me. I don't know what it is, but that's what happens. But those are the kind of things that just start to make me a worse person. It's because, you know, I'm getting dumped on. So then I'm going to obviously take what's building up in me and dump on someone else. But what I do love about what I do there and what I do in this business is the ability to help people. That's what I love. That's what I take from it. I'll take that heat all day long, knowing that what I'm doing is helping someone succeed in life. And that is very important to me. That's why I really like this profession. And that's why I like the position I'm in now, even though it stresses me out a little bit. So you don't have to do this now, but just take some time to define what makes you a better person in life. And maybe at the end of this call, Mike, if you want to go jump into something like that, we can. But everybody should be able to write at least 3 things down that defines them as a better person. So the next
If you want to
question,
do that, Chris, if you want to do that when we get to the end, let me know. You just take control, because what's posted, we're just going to do this first session today, so you can go and do whatever you want. So we're just going to do the first one.
yeah, maybe it'll give them some time to think about it. Take the time to define you. So,
Repeat that to them so they know what to think about at the end. Maybe they can write it down and start thinking about it.
So just find ways that define ways that makes you a better person. It could be anything. So then he moves on, and he says, in order for you to get better, you have to surround yourself with better people. You have to get around the right people, opportunities that fit your passion. And when you get better, your life gets better. You can't go searching for things out there that will make your life better first. You have to start with you. If you want to be a better person, start with inside of your life rather than outside of your life. And you have to fix what's wrong with you first. And when you do that, things will start to go the right direction. And if you're not doing a better life first, be a better person first, and then you get your better life. And that was from the book of James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. And that's something that really hit. He says, when people learn to live out good values, they become more valuable. And another great thing that he pointed out in this was people are anxious to change their circumstances, but they're unwilling to change themselves. And they therefore remain bound. And that's huge. I thought that was really, really good. It was something that I really enjoyed. I actually want to get that book now. So if you're interested in that book, is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And I really want to check that out.
It's a great book.
I had never heard of it until he mentioned it.
We watched the movie Brian Banks last night, and you've seen the previews for it. But when he was in prison, Morgan Freeman was his prison guard, and it was based on a true story. Obviously, Morgan Freeman wasn't his prison guard, but he gave him that book, which is funny. Jane, he talked about it, and he said that it was a defining point in his life. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. I thought it was a very important piece to share, even though it wasn't on this PDF. I thought, it would really relate to a lot of people. So then after that, he says a lot of people asked them what leadership book he should start out with. And a lot of people were really surprised with the answer that he would give. And the answer that he actually gives is the leadership book that you should start with is the 21 Qualities of a Leader, because it starts with you. It works on you first, and then you kind of move into the other leadership books. So I thought that was another great point that I wanted to point out. He says that you're only going to learn when you ask the questions and not when you talk. And that's something that I mentioned earlier that I thought was great. And it's something that I've actually done a really good job of doing. And then when he went on to say, when people learn to live out good values, they become more valuable. And then he says, vision is all about where we are and where we need to go. And that's something I started thinking about, like, where am I at? Not in my other career, but where I'm at here. And I'm definitely nowhere close where I want to be. I thought 6 months ago I was better. I will be honest with you. I definitely was better 6 months ago than I am now. It's not that I've really detached myself. It's just I used to be able to slide time in and write down, and I need to get back to that because I will not, I won't get to where I need to go if I don't do that. And that's something that every Sunday night I've always planned my week out, and I've definitely fallen short of that. And then values is all about who we are and who we need to become. And that's something else I really think that you guys should, other than just sitting down to define what makes you a better person, I think you should really, really sit down and reflect on who you are and who you need to become. Because there are a lot of kinks that I definitely need to work out in all aspects of life. And then John went on to talk about a little bit about his father. He said his father's 97 and a half years old. He says that he was out to lunch one day and that the that his best life is ahead of him, which I thought was hilarious. And he did say that he would his dad would always pay him for books. I think we talked about that before in one of the other videos, but he did say that, he wanted to encourage it, to begin his career by, there was 3 things: valuing people every day, believing in people, and unconditionally loving people. And the way, when he did those steps and then defined it as the DNA of network marketing, that just kind of really opened my eyes. I was like, wow. I mean, we value people every day. We believe in people and we love people. We want to see people succeed. We help people succeed. And we thought that, I just thought that was great. I mean, when you look at those 3, that is exactly what this industry is. And he's done this for 50 years. He started this at 22 years old, and for 50 years he's been preaching and practicing these values, which I thought was amazing. And he says that, if you want to, you got to get around better people, because those people have better values, and the odds of you becoming a better person increase dramatically when you get around these better people. And, you got to stop and think, who do you want to be with? Who do you want to hang with? And he goes into the values of network marketing. There's 23 of them. And I'm going to go through them if you're good with that, Mike, just to go through this PDF, if you're fine. I really
go through it. Go for it.
So he said that these are the 23 values of network marketing organization. And he says now these are not the end all of the values. He said that he could probably get into any other companies and they would go through and they would tell you that there's more, but these are the 23 he came up with. And he starts it out by saying, when I value, and it's attitude, I will think and feel right about myself and about others. And then the next value was hard work. I will experience fulfillment in knowing that I did my very best. The next value was influence. I will know that I can add values to others. The next value was productivity. I will have a sense of accomplishment and feel good about myself. The next value is inspiration. I will encourage others to find and follow their dreams. That's what we're looking for. I mean, that right there, we are trying to find people who think exactly like we do and want exactly like what we want, and inspire them to overcome that fear and take that step and make a decision to do that. Ambition. I will have a sense of purpose and be respected for getting things done, which I need to step my ambition up. Responsibility. I will be appreciated and trusted, which develops strong relationships. The next value is people. I will develop others and help them reach their potential. When we do that, then we get what we want. When I think it was Zig Ziglar that says, when we help people get what they want, we get what we want. And that one right there was huge. The next one was dependability. I will be trusted and respected by others and will work better together. That is something that has been one of my values with this team. I brought people into this. I've told people I was going to help them, and that's what I'll do. If I'm not available to help them, I actually take the time to find somebody that matches up that will help them in this. So being dependent, it doesn't mean you have to be there 100% to do everything with them, but you have to make sure that you set them up for success. And they depend on you. And I mean, you brought them in and you teach them, and that's what we're trying to do to continue to grow the business. Generosity. I will focus on the needs of others and experience joy in helping them. The next one is sowing. I will reap a return on my investment in others. And Mike talked about it a little bit. I invest a lot of time with people, and I know that it's going to pay off in the end. Perspectives is the next value. I will see the other person's point of view and be receptive to change. Integrity. I will do things for the right reasons and set a standard for good character. This is actually something that is a huge core value of mine in life. I will always stand by this, even though it's kind of funny. I have a group of people that I work with, and integrity is one of our core values in my other company. And this is one of the ones that people always ask me, like, why are you doing the things that you do? You're the best at what you do. There's nobody that can come in and do what you do. I treated every single day as if somebody else was better than me. I treated I had a trust and a commitment from people, because they basically just opened up their checkbooks and said, do what you have to do. That's how much trust they had me to come in and run on their lots. And this is something that I'm trying to instill in all of my people that I work with. And it definitely instilled this in the people that we bring into this business.
Amen.
Direction is the next value. I will make solid decisions based upon my purpose. That is huge. I have a purpose on where I want to get, and I have a direction I need to get there. I just need get back into the ambition part to get to that point. The next value is self-discipline. I will control my words and actions and have healthy relationships. And this is something that I've been really tested on a lot in the last 4 months, is this controlling my words and my actions, because there's been many times where they've got away from me, but at least with my team here in LifeVantage, I've been really good about that, because there have been times that I've been kind of pushed in certain ways, and I just stopped. I thought about it, and I made better decisions because of it. The next value is understanding. I will connect with others and truly appreciate them. This is something that I feel like, between the self-discipline and the understanding, there are things that maybe people are going to do on our team. There could be, like, they'll give you their directions and their wants and their needs and their desires. And I think it kind of goes back to what Mike said about wanting it more for others than you want it for yourself. And then you'll kind of see somebody going down the wrong direction. It goes back a couple of values here, and you just want to say something, or you don't really know why. It's just best to talk it out and have an understanding. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe something happened, and they're just trying to blow off some steam and put everything aside. And I'll tell you another thing too, is not everybody's dreams, wants, and desires will match up to yours. Maybe somebody wants to be a Pro 7, but they don't care if they get there in 10 years, and you want to get there in 3 or 4 years. So you're never going to line up as well. So understanding their path and having the self-discipline to do that without getting too aggressive on them or pushing them too much, because that is just one thing that will taint this industry and your team. The next value was humility. I will be comfortable with my humanness and be transparent and honest. The next one is listening. I will create a positive environment and have a genuine lifelong relationships. That is huge. Outside of this business, even with your team members, we have one that's going through a little bit of a tough time right now, and losing someone that was very close to him. And, you just kind of set the business aside for a little bit, and you just listen to him, and you kind of cater to your teammates, and you understand, and you just try to help them in their life, not just in this business. The other value is connection. I will develop meaningful relationships. I really like that one too, because developing those relationships, some of the people that I have over in Thailand, I've never met a day in my life. But almost every single day or every other day, we're connected somehow on Messenger. Hey, how's your day going? And the other cool thing is that when they're having a little bit of a tough day or tough time, they actually reach out to me. Hey, how was your day? I'm not having such a good day. And we talk about it, and it makes them feel better. And that's huge. I might not be helping them at that point, help build their business, but I've connected with them to help them in life. And we've become, really good friends because of that. I mean, we're reaching people all over the globe and helping people everywhere. And this is the only industry that can do that. The next one is patience. I will value the process and learn how to wait for my season. That's something I've also worked on really well. I feel like sometimes we put in a really aggressive timeline on ourselves, which then causes a lot of stress. If you don't get to that timeline, I mean, having a pretty aggressive timeline is great because you're going to get to a certain point. You might not get all the way, but it'll help you build fast. But just be patient. What happens for somebody in 2 years, it might take you 5 years. It doesn't matter. We all have the same goal to get to the same point. Don't put too much stress on yourself and just be a little bit patient. The other one is boundaries. Next value. I will know what is expected of me and what I should expect from others. Just That's just self-explanatory right there. Don't cross boundaries. You cross boundaries, you start making enemies, and that's not what we're in the business to do. The next value is saving. I will remove the pressure of debt and have financial options. The next one is ownership. I will work hard and build and preserve my financial future. The next one was correction. I will be open to feedback and learn from it. That is something that I love. I love listening to when Q or Linda present something to me. Hey, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do it this way. I'm open to that. I'm open to their willingness to teach me, and I love learning from them. I don't care that I've been in the business longer for them. I don't care that I may have enrolled more people than they have. They have great ideas, and I stand corrected a lot of times, and they actually help me fix some of the things that I was doing, and I just love listening to their feedback. I'm open to all of it. The next value is intentionality. I'm sure that you guys know one person that talks about this more than anybody else. He's on this call. His initials are MH, and I will prioritize my actions to ensure greater success. The next one that he talks about, and these are the last two, are goals. I will build self-esteem by pursuing and achieving my dreams. Write those goals down, look at them every single day, read them, set your plan to get to that goal. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. I heard somebody say, and it was great, that when people go to the gym, they have a goal in mind to get healthier and better, maybe size-wise, bigger, whatever their goal is. But what's great is when you go to the gym and you actually have a plan mapped out of what you're going to do, your workout is so much better that day than not having a plan. You see those people just wandering all over the gym, looking for this machine, looking for that machine. Oh, that one's open, I'll sit down on it. When by the time they leave, they didn't get a good quality workout. And I've been there. I just, sometimes I've even had a plan and people were in my way. Yeah, you got it, Mike. Intentionality. That's you. And the last one, and the most important one, and the one that has definitely been the biggest thing for me in this business, is personal growth. I will become more valuable as I develop myself and others. My personal growth, I would never be able to do what I'm doing right now. Sitting in front of you guys talking. There might be 5,000 people on this call tonight. I don't know. There could be 30, but it wouldn't matter if it's 30 or 5,000. I was going to do it. I feel comfortable doing it. I love doing it. This was amazing to go through this part one and listen to this and learn. I've actually watched it 3 times and even went into part 2. Lisa and I had a little bit of a mix up on our text messages there. I thought she said I had part 1 filled out, and she says, hey, you're doing part 2. And it's like, nope, you're part 1. And it wouldn't have mattered. I would have did them both. It wouldn't have been a big deal. But the personal growth, just not my biggest thing is the no. And I at the beginning was like, oh my gosh, I felt like I needed everybody. I feel like when we come into this business, and even some people that have been in it for a little bit longer, feel everyone you talk to is the most important person in the world. And it's not. And that is something that I learned and been able to grow. When I hear no, I move on to the next one. I am not attached to their answers at all. I'm just attached to the process, attached to my goal. And if it's a no, it's a no. It's the same thing in my other business. I have to literally cold call on every single dealership I walk into. I do have some people where we set meetings, but there's literally, I have 20 places to hit in the next 3 days. They're all cold calls. I'm literally going to walk in, talk about our services, talk about what I do. People are busy. They'll give you attitudes. They won't like it. It's Detroit. They're tough. They'll throw you right out the door.
Michigan.
But, yes, boo is exactly right. But you know what I've learned because of this business and this industry? I just laugh it off. Hey, no, okay, next. I'm going to the next person. And guess what? The next person's going to say yes, and his inventory is going to look way better than your inventory, and then you're going to be begging me to come back. And that's how I treat it. That's my attitude. And I feel like, those avenues that I talked about, learning about how to find other ways and get on the internet and connect around the world, that's the personal growth I needed. And it's been really it's been a lot of fun. So
Awesome job.
that was part 1.
Awesome
Very
job.
good.
Lisa wants
Hey,
something you can do that.
Oh, can I ask?
Go ahead.
I forgot to. I got one of the most important things I forgot to add is at the very end of part one. If John Maxwell said, when I'm asked if someone should join network marketing, he said absolutely yes, because these people in this industry have incredible values, and that I thought that was amazing.
Yeah,
So I didn't want to forget that.
These on your YouTube channel too.
Can I add something, Mike?
private.
Yes, Dr. Tinas, go ahead.
Yeah, and first a question, Chris. That was awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, totally.
What was the number 6 after ambition? Didn't get that one.
I got it. Hold on.
Responsibility.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. What I was going to mention, another thing that he said at the end, there is no group that grows people better than network marketing.
100%.
They will either grow or go.
Go. Yeah, I do remember
Yep.
that. I forgot to write that down. Thank you for
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wanted to just add to the integrity value. How many times have you heard in LifeVantage specifically, integrity basically is doing what you say you're going to do, even after that emotion that you set it in has worn off. And a little sneak peek to my daily inspirational moment for tomorrow is a photo, a card that says integrity. It means making the right choices even if it hurts.
100%.
Always doing the right thing, even if you're going to take a personal loss on it or whatever. So integrity and intentionality are two major I words, so to speak.
And you know, one of the cool things, and then Chris, if you want to do that thing at the end, I'll just say this is really cool. I read this. In the book, he said, it's on page 11. He said, first he said, this is something, and Lisa can tell you guys this. We had a multiple 7-figure guy reach out to me and go through this description of a lighthouse. And he said, Mike, you know what you need to do? Every single day, add as much value to other people as you can. And then I said, okay. He said, you've already been doing it. You just need to step it up and do it more. So people are watching how much value you give to other people. And if you constantly are intent, oh, I almost said it, Chris. I said a bad word. If you're intentional about adding value to others, and then he wrote this, what I want to do something significant for others. And he said, it was by this Ella Wheeler Wilcox. It said, which are you? There are 2 kinds of people on the earth today. Just 2 kinds of people. No more, I say. Not the good, the bad, for it's well understood that the good are half bad and the bad are half good. No, the 2 kinds of people on earth, I mean, are the people who lift and the people who lean. Think about that.
Be a lifter.
Yes. Guys got it? Okay. So I really like that. And like I said, this first chapter was really good because it had a lot of different experiences. And then it had an exercise at the end for, it says, review and reflect on the 10 benefits of network marketing, because that's what the first chapter is. It goes through 10 benefits. And then it says, take a moment to review and think about 10 benefits identified in this chapter to help you keep track and check next to the benefits that appeal to you. Guys, get this book. This book is gold. Everybody told me about it, and when I started to read it, and I read the first chapter twice, I was like, oh, Lord, this is so good. Like, not only is John good as a man of God and a man of integrity, and he's just phenomenal. This book is because he's worked with network marketing people for 25 years, right? And so, Chris, I'll turn it back over to you if you want. You still there?
Yeah, that's fine. I think we could open it up and just have these people, have everyone define what makes them a better person.
Yes. Does anybody
or some questions or comments?
Yeah, does anybody want to take a shot at that? Does anybody have a comment or want to say something? Guys, Chris and I talk about this all the time. The more we interact on things like this, the better it steps us out of our comfort zone, because Chris is in a point in his business where I was when after about 3 years into this, and I think that's somewhere about where he
Right
is.
there.
And work's piling on, and now you guys know that those of you that know that we're in the most crucial time of our life and our businesses because of almost going bankrupt and the stuff that we're doing. But guys, we have a live event to put on, and I'm only maybe a fifth of the way through selling tickets. And but God is showing up, because I've used these morals and values that I've learned from John since I was a young kid. If you guys hear him talk about being a pastor at a church in Lancaster, Ohio, when he's going through these videos, you'll hear him talk about it several times. I even think he talks about it in the interlude. Guys, that's the church I grew up in. And I kept saying to my mom for years and years that I knew who John was. And she's like, you don't know who he is? And I'm like, I know who he is. I told Chris the story a long time ago. And we were doing the 15 laws of growth. And for those of you that know, I went through having an alcoholic father, and I suppressed a lot of stuff from my childhood. But John started a bus program, a blue bus, that God brought back to my memory. I used to walk out my door and get on that bus all the time. I remember how the church used to cars up and down the road. Now when you go by there, it's like a ghost town. But that's for another time. But so does anybody want to share or comment or make something that, like what Chris was saying, about things that make you a better person and some things that
Michael.
Go ahead, Mike.
Michael Epstein here. Hey, Chris.
Go ahead,
great
buddy.
stuff,
Hey, Mike.
man.
Thanks, man.
And following that path is something for that's powerful. John Maxwell, one of the great speakers and mentors and leaders of the world, who followed the path of the people who created this all the way back to Earl Nightingale and Napoleon Hill, because that's the philosophy. And I've been very blessed to go through 62 years of my life to really learn how to figure some of this stuff out. And I couldn't be where I am today if I didn't go through the pains of personal growth, because our business is truly about personal growth. You will never pass yourself without having the personal growth. You will not get to Master Pro 10. And I say this, you will never get to Master Pro 10 unless you go through massive personal growth. It's impossible. But the thing is, it is absolutely possible there, because personal growth, the path that we all need, all of those values that John Maxwell talks about, is spot on. But you have to think, here's just my opinion. You have to think about that, of doing this like eating food. You have to digest this stuff into your cells, into your soul, into your heart, into your mind, and into your daily activities. You have to write it down. You have to use this is my opinion from learning from some masters from many years ago, a yellow pad 8.5 by 11 with a blue pen. There's something that's magical that happens is when you write things down, and I've done it for years. And when I stop writing it down, then things change. When I go back to writing it down, yellow pad, blue pen. There's something that I learned from a guy that his name was Kevin Trudeau, one of the greatest network marketers in the world. And he was one of my personal mentors for many years in the industry of network marketing 20 something years ago. And he's the one that created Mega Memory, Mega Reading, and he's the one that developed the personal, infomercials. And he did it kind of like a setting of Johnny Carson, Jay Leno kind of thing. And he had a company that was called the Trudeau Marketing Group out of another company that I was with. It was called, way back in the day, called Nutrition for Life International. And I got to be one of the top people in that company. And it was not making big bucks, And Chris, of what you said, and what you said, you know, I've been in the nutrition industry for a long time. I hate admitting it, but 45 years into that, and 55 years in martial arts. I have never, ever seen products. We are so lucky because the products that we have, it's not something that we have to sell and convince the people. It's the timing of where we are. It's the leadership that is developed in LifeVantage that has put us in the perfect storm of where we are at this moment.
Amen.
And you're absolutely right. The
Yes.
Super 7 that is going to be coming out is going to solidify NRF1 and NRF2 activation. And nobody in the world and everybody has to really understand this. In a $200 billion network marketing industry and a $300 billion anti-aging industry, nobody has what we have with the science to prove it. And I want everybody to really think about this. What do we really sell? And people always sell products. We sell dreams.
No.
We sell hope. What we're really selling, because the products sell themselves because of the science. And if you don't believe in science, oh well. But what we do is we sell the ability to create choices in other people's lives. And by helping other people create choices in their life, we get to create choices in our life.
Yep. Thanks for sharing that, bro. I appreciate
I just
that.
wanted
I
to add
appreciate
that, man.
No, I'm glad you did.
And Michael, thank you so much for all you do and your heart and soul and your leadership of what you do with your ministry. It's just, you know, you're such a blessing to this world, and we all appreciate you, bro. I just want to say
Thank
that.
you, man.
God
I
bless.
really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys too. Thanks for, guys, it's really cool how we're getting able to attract some really awesome people to our calls and stuff. And Michael's one of those people. You guys, someday I'm going to, sometime here in the near future, I'll bring him on and have him share. Chris, were you trying to say something or what?
No, I actually muted because I didn't want someone yelling.
So then I'll say this real quick, but then I'll let somebody else go. We still got about 5-6 minutes left, but I got to go to the Global Leadership Summit Friday with my friend. I didn't get to go Thursday, but I went yesterday or Friday, and I got to hear Bear Grylls speak. You guys know who Bear Grylls is. He's just this amazing guy. He's almost died 21 times.
Oh my God, that guy's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. I got to hear.
I watched him every day.
Dude, he said he almost died 20 times. He said he almost died 21 times. And he was actually doing a video. It was live, and it was from the Alps, from the Swiss Alps, right? And he said when he was trying to climb Mount Everest, and you know people have died, and he's like, I just knew I had to do it. And he has that same relationship with his dad that John has with his dad. And I saw this in the book. It said, you don't climb Mount Everest by yourself. It's too big. The only way to get to the top is with a great team. The truth only also applies to your business. Mother Teresa said, you can do what I cannot do. I can do what you cannot do. Together, we can do great things. So I like how John just says this. So many people have such a terrible opinion of network marketing. But guys, there's good and bad in everything. So is there anybody else that wants to comment on what Chris has said and share? Because, guys, that's where this is at. We had close to 30 people on tonight. Does anybody else want to share? We got about 5 or 6 minutes left.
I've got something I'd like to share. This is Linda.
Hey, Linda Salaji. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks
Good.
a lot.
How about it?
What makes me a better person is when I pay attention to the taps on my shoulder. Something's telling me to do something, and I've got to get out of my comfort zone. So the last example was a young woman in my break room, and I overheard her talking to her friend. She has a high white blood count. Her mother died from cancer. It runs in the family, and she's really worried. So I stepped out of my comfort zone. I spoke with her. Paulette and I had a call with her, and she's planning on starting to take NRF2. I gave her 6 until she gets her own bottle. So she's very grateful. She's already feeling a little better, and her expression, it's amazing. and she's studying to be a nurse. So she loves the science, and so I just need to remind myself to pay attention to those taps on my shoulder.
Amen. And you know what? There's one other person who wants to say something, but Linda, I just want to encourage you because Linda, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I would say that you've had massive personal growth since being in part of LifeVantage. Would you not say?
Yes, I definitely have.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And I remember when the first meeting I did when Linda was there, and I don't think she said about 2 words, and now here she is on calls and like stepping up and saying things and it's really good. Like I've watched Linda incorporate things into her business that she learns at events, like giving people 5 pills until they get their bottle. Those are things that I teach when I'm out and teaching these things. So Laura Lee was up next. She said she wanted to say something. So why don't you go ahead and share?
Hey guys.
I'll unmute you. Okay, there you go. Good. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm not going to start my video.
All right.
I'm still in my pajamas. Isn't that bad?
That's okay. It's all right. Sunday. Go for it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys the first thing that in this first part that he said was your future depends on your commitment. And I'm going to tell you guys, I came into this company and I shot quickly to Pro 8. But for the last few months, I've just been kind of staggering at Pro 8. And there hasn't been much growth. There's been a decline in growth. And I said to myself, what am I missing? And I soon realized that as I grew to the top of this company, there was things I learned, personal growth I learned, but there was a lot that I missed. And when John started talking about the values of a true leader and what we needed to become in order to get to be successful, I realized there was a lot I missed. So when he says commit, I have committed myself to have a look at all these values he's told us and to make myself a better person by being able to go through every single value and checking it off. Yes, I value attitude. Yes, I value hard work. Yes, I value influence. And I'm committing myself to that. Since I've been doing that, it's amazing how growth happens. So commit. And I'm going to sit here and tell you guys, I may be a Pro 8, but I'm not even close to having the values of a true leader. So build on it. Commit to it. That's all.
So much. Wow. Thank you so much. Guys, you know what's one of the coolest things that I take away from every time I learn? Like, I'll just tell you this. I've had 2 massive, when you almost lose everything and you've been super successful all your life, and thank God, when I talk about bankruptcy, it didn't take away from my LifeVantage business. Our LifeVantage business is still great, but when you have money in the bank and you're building another business and things go that way and they don't go exactly the way you thought it was, I look back to God's word and I stand on his promises. But when you hear stories about guys like Michael and Larry who've been at the top and are learning and growing, it's like it's like putting hard work in, and as you go through the valley, in Isaiah, the 40th chapter, God says that he'll lower the mountains and he'll lower the mountains and raise the valleys and make a clear path for us. That way, in the end, when we go through all these things and we grow and we don't keep making the same mistakes, we don't worry about what other people do and say, we soar. right? We soar and we grow. And it's like when the little taps from God on the shoulder that Linda talks about, and her and I've shared that. I love when she says that. She told me that before. And I love that because that's what we do, guys. That's what we do. That's why we do these. It's why I'm doing these videos. It's why I can't wait to do the next ones. And do you want to see if, before we go, see if somebody else wants to do the ones? Okay. Would anybody like to volunteer to do chapter 2 next week? The video 2 on the power of network marketing part 2.
One that I thought we were.
We thought we were doing that one. We uploaded that video.
No, I did.
But we uploaded a long video, so we'll upload that video. I'll do it tonight before we go to bed. I'll upload it. Does anybody want to do that second part? Does anybody want to volunteer and do?
You don't need the book per se, because the PDF worksheets are strictly, well, I should say strictly, but all the answers are on the videos.
Yeah. And it's guys.
And then
fun.
Julia, you had growth part 2, so we'll just let you keep that when we get there.
So does anybody want to do that part? Okay.
That's true. See, you're off the hook for next week anyways then.
So does anybody want to do it? Because if you don't, I'll take it. I'm okay with it. Does anybody, guys, we had 20, we had 28 people on. Now we're down to 25. Does anybody want to take the power of network marketing part 2?
Tracy's here and she's always willing to help, but I'm embarrassed to go after Chris because he did such a phenomenal job. But
it's okay. All right, I'll do it with you if you want.
Okay, would you do it with me? Then
I will.
That would make me happy because I don't have the book yet, but I can get the PDF and I will watch the video over and over and over and over again.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But if but if you want, I'm always willing to step up. But if there's somebody else that you think would be better, like the wonderful lady that just spoke.
Yes, Laura's going to be in Ireland next week because there's the island trip is next week. So, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'll you and I will work together. Okay.
Okay, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Right. Yeah.
Next week I'm here, but it's the week after I'm in Ireland.
All right. Cool. So the week after that, we'll be close to Julia, right? Or no, she's the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tracy and I will do the one next week.
Oh, no, but the other one, sorry, I'm not. I don't want to say your name wrong.
Go ahead.
Laura Lee said she's going to be available next week.
Okay. So Laura Lee, you want to do the part of network marketing too?
I can, but I mean, if Tracy, here we are fighting over who's going to do it.
No. I think Tracy, I'll give you the growth one, part 1, because Julia part 2. So I'll give you, so Laura Lee, you do the power of network marketing 2, and I'll give Tracy growth matters part 1.
Sure.
All right. I'll upload yours, and then the following week, Tracy, I'll upload yours, so you guys will have it. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I'm just going to say thank you. And Laura Lee, I wasn't trying to fight about it. I really wanted you to say you're going to do it because I loved what you said about growing so fast and then kind of getting stuck. So I would have loved to hear you speak. So.
Oh yes, for sure. No, I was just, you know.
It's her sense of humor.
Yes, I'm a Canadian.
Yeah, you guys both are, which is funny.
Both of us are.
Yeah,
but where is she in Canada? Because we're different. I'm on the West Coast.
Yes, I'm Saskatchewan.
Oh, we're the same. We're Westerners. I grew up in Alberta. Okay, we're the same. That's the problem.
All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody who spoke.
Thank you.
Guys, you guys crushed it. This was a great call. I know we went over 5-6 minutes, but guys, I bless you. Have a good week. Hey, guys, let's take some action this week. Let's just don't hear this stuff and then sit with it. Let's take some action. Let's set some 3-way phone calls. Let's set some appointments. Let's do 30 minutes of new exposure and follow-up every day, and let's build our business, guys. Have a great week. Love you guys.